Betul.
Apa khabar di sana? How's everyone?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I can. Cik Daniel, Cik Faisal, Cik Syawal, Cik Saiful, semua okay? Right. So today we are going to start our first class on MGT 785. 785 innovation lah. Okay, we're going to start that. Our classes is supposedly to be all face-to-face classes. However, as per requested, we are going to do these first two classes online. Okay, first two classes online. So we have to do our classes face-to-face actually. So, but based on your request, I've discussed with the coordinator. Well, she says, well, not to say she agrees, but okay lah, boleh lah dilonggarkan sedikit lah. Okay. However, this is just a one time only lah, because memang the structure of this course is face to face. It's not orang kata blended lah, dia bukannya blended. It has to be face to face all because this is the this is the lesson plan given lah. Okay. All right. So this for today and tomorrow we are just going to do online. All right. So our classes is supposed to be every Saturday and Sunday, starting from today and until, let me just share the slide here. Okay, hope you all can see the slide. Okay, so basically our class is supposed to be is scheduled to be on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Okay, so starting from today, 6th of May, tomorrow, and then 13, 14, and then, oh sorry, here we go, 13, 14, this is a break here, and then continue right up to early of June. Okay, so this is the timetable for the class, right? And class timing is from Saturday 2:30 to 6:30 and Sunday 9 to 4 morning. All right. However, we are not going to do full 2:30 to 6:30 as I foresee based on previous lectures. It's not necessary for us to go right up to 6:30. I might just do a class for at most 2 hours or maybe 1.5 hours, depending on the situation. Especially not on the first class lah. First class, kalau saya go 4 hours, I don't think you all can take 4 hours straight. But maybe on the second or third class, we won't go for 4 hours, but maybe I will just do for 3 hours, and then I'll give you some assignments for you to continue to do it on your own. Okay, so that's how we are going to do this class. All right. So before we start, let me just introduce myself. My name is Dr. Muhammad Imran Muhammad Arif. I am from the Faculty of Computer Science actually, but I have been teaching EMBA under the Code of Innovation for more than a few years already. Prior to this, I was also teaching EMBA under the code MIS, Management Information System, and now we have changed to a different subject, is innovation. So my background is information systems or information technology, and I have been with UITM close to almost 20 years, alhamdulillah. All right. So I have been teaching EMBA for the last, I think, about 7 years or so lah, on and off. So my subject is mainly focusing on semester 3 students, especially in management information systems or innovation. Okay, so this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. All right. But my day-to-day job or day-to-day lecturing is I lecture on computer science subjects, and I'm stationed at UITM Tapah. All right. Ada UiTM Perak, but I'm UiTM Tapah, and I'm staying in Ipoh, so I commute every day to UiTM Tapah, right? So that's a little bit about myself. All right, let's just go into the lesson plan. The lesson plan, I'm just taking it from the previous years, okay, last semester, as I've not created the new lesson plan yet. However, it's almost the same. It's just the same. The same bit only. Okay. The dates is going to change. All right. So let's just go to the lesson plan. All right. Can you all see this? Nampak tak? Okay, so if you can see this, okay, can you all see this? Is it too small or too big? Or okay, so this is the lesson plan from last semester, almost the same as this semester. I will change the dates later on today or tomorrow and pass it on to you. All right, so we will have a few topics that we need to cover. All right, and then we will have one test over here. Okay, one test over here, and we will have one group for chapter 4 and 5, 6, and 7, we are going to cover for your test, right? Test, okay, test. So we'll have your test here, okay, chapter 2 to chapter 7. Then this test is face-to-face test. Then we are going to have an individual assignment for topics between topics 8 to 12 for 20%, and we are going to have one short group case study for 15%. All right. Then as we move along, we are going to have another final group assignment or a final group project, and we are going to have the second case study group study as well. Okay, group case study for another 15%. And last but not least, you are also going to do final presentation, right, for 10%. So 20% here, 20% here, so that's 40, 15% here, that's 55, then another 15 here, okay, that's 70, 80, 90, and another 10% here, which makes out your grade, which is 10%. Sorry, 100%, right? So there's also a report submission for your final presentation as well. Okay, so you will have one individual assignment, 2 case study, and 1 final group project. Okay, case study and case study 1 and case study 2 is to be done inside group. Okay, I repeat, case study 1 and case study number 2 is to be done within the group, and you will have only one individual assignment, right? And then you have one test lah. Between you will have one test. Okay, so that's a little bit outline for our lesson plan for this semester. I will change the dates accordingly, but this is how we are going to do it, right? So week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So this is how I will change the dates later lah, right? So that is how we are going to do the lessons for this semester. Okay. Next, my notes are all available in the UFuture, so you can have a look at it. Okay. This subject is purely using the notes from my UFuture lah, so you can have a look there and maybe take down the lecture notes from there. I hope has anyone gone into the UFuture to check the notes? Is it all available there? Just check whether you all can see that. Hold down. You EMBA 28 kan?
Ya,
Ya.
doktor.
Okay, so let me see.
Kat mana kat you
Syawal.
itu doktor? Dekat group content ya?
Yes. Bentar. Let me see assignment. Kat group content under my name, under ini lesson plan last semester, but the notes is note September, October, semester October 2022. Yeah, you have all the notes. Yeah, these are all the notes. Okay, these are all the notes.
Tak nampak doktor. Tak ada apa-apa.
Ada apa? Ada tak
Dekat
folder?
dekat group EMBA 202321. Okey. Betul group content kan?
Correct. Group content.
Group content. Tak nampak apa-apa.
Saya jumpa dekat course content.
Oh,
Ah,
course content.
Course content, sorry.
Cross content. Okey.
Okay.
Cross content ada.
Okay. And attendance pun dalam e-future juga. You can sign your attendance there.
And then
Okay. So that's inilah. That's the introduction lah. Okay. So before we go in further, okay. So now lesson plan saya dah bentangkan. So you have to do your entrance survey later on. Okay, you do that later on. Class, okay. Tomorrow I'll give you the lesson plan lah. Saya akan updatekan semua lah. Okay. Alright. So can you all on your camera? Cik Syawal, Cik Amir, Cik Saiful, Cik Daniel, can you boleh tak on camera, Cik Faisal? And then maybe we can just go. We can do a short introduction lah. Kita bermula daripada Cik Syawal, and then Cik Faisal, Cik Saiful, Cik Daniel, and Cik Amir. What I need from you is just a little bit about yourself. Your name, where you from, where you working, how long have you been working, and what area are you working, and from there kita tengoklah apa-apa info lain lah. Tambah kalau nak cakap tengah sedang mencari pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, Cik Syawal, kita mulakan dengan Cik Syawal. Cik Syawal, I think your mic.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And good evening to doctor and my friend. My name is Muhammad Syawal Nizami Sharifuddin. My friend call me Syawal. I'm from Temerloh, Pahang. Now I'm staying in Manjung. I'm working with TNB since 2008 as a electrical engineer until now, and almost 15 years working with TNB at TNB Jalan Manjung. And I'm now 40 years old. I'm graduate from UiTM, diploma in 2001 until 2004. Then further study, continue my degree in instrument. Graduate in 2007. Then I did my conversion at University Unit 10 for 1 year. Then I undergo MBA. Is it? Thank you.
So your background engineering lah, Cik Syawal.
Yeah, electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering. So you have been with TNB for what, 10 years plus?
Yes, 15 years.
Or 15 years. Okay. You are in Manjung all the while lah, tak pernah bertukar tempat lain ke apa ke?
Yeah, betul.
Okay.
But previously I was working in Batangkali private company.
Okay. Now you're here. Okay. Thank you, Cik Syawal. All right. How about next, Cik Faisal? Cik Amir Faisal Amir.
Assalamualaikum, selamat petang. My name Muhammad Amir bin Mustafa. I'm from Kelantan. and I'm working at TMB Janamanjung as well, like Cik Syawal. My area of working is electrical engineering as well. I'm working at TMB Janamanjung since 2009. Several department I've worked from electrical and operation, and currently come back to the electrical department.
Okay, lupa nak tanya Cik Syawal, Cik Faisal.
Yes.
Why MBA?
First is to enhance or add knowledge, and then another is of course to get promotion, because one of the requirement is to have a MBA.
I see. To join the management team. Good.
Yeah.
Sama juga ke Cik Faisal?
Yes. For value added for us.
Okay, value added lah. Alright, okay. Okay, thank you both of you. Next, Cik Saiful. Cik Saiful macam di overseas saja.
Tak, kat office.
Okay.
Di office tempat.
Where is your office?
Office in KL.
Okay. Alright, Cik Saiful, can you introduce yourself?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Saiful Ismail bin Ismail. I'm 42 years old, sorry. Been working with TNB since 2004, so about 18 years plus. Interested in joining for MBA class because like my colleague has told you, value added and for preparation for promotion.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Awak you're in TNB, you bangsa yang besar tu ke macam?
Yes. Currently, previously in TNB Janamanjung,
Okay.
same like my colleague here. And then after restructuring, organization restructuring, there's no post for me there, and then I have to transfer to KL.
How long have you been working in KL, in TNB KL?
In KL since 2020.
Oh, dah 3 years lah.
3 years, but yeah, 3 years.
Previously, all the time in Janamanjung lah.
Yes, since 2004.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Cik Amir Ridwan, thank you so much, Cik Saiful. Cik Amir Ridwan.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, Doctor. Okay, my name is Amir Ridwan bin Muhammad Ibrahim. So I also working at TMB Janamanjung on operation side. So I've been working with Tenaga Nasional Berhad 11 years. So now I'm 36 years old. So my background is mechanical engineering, and I'm doing operation for during my working now.
36. Oh, kiranya you are the youngest jugalah.
We have another one more younger.
Okay. Alright.
So,
Okay.
Doctor,
Alright.
just
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Basically, I have a problem with signing to the U-Future. I unable to check in. So I don't know, maybe I got some problem because I'm not in Malaysia right now. So I don't know.
Okay.
So who Doctor can give some consideration for me, Doctor?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No problem. Tapi previously you okay ke?
Previously, okay, I log in using my laptop, but today I try to log in via my phone, then I unable to sign in.
Alright, it's okay. But I recognize that you have attended the class. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Next, where are you now, Cik? I mean, overseas kat mana ni?
So basically, I now at Jakarta having a rugby tournament.
You're playing for TNB or what?
So I'm playing for Malaysian club.
See, okay. You're playing for the club. And sampai bila? Until when you will be in Jakarta?
So just until tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be back.
Alright. Okay.
I meet you inshallah next week on face-to-face class.
Okay, inshallah. Alright. Thank you. Daniel, where are you from? Okay, Daniel.
My name is Daniel bin Arazmi. I'm from origin also from Manjung, Perak. Right now, I'm working with EMBA Jana Manjung also, same with all others, as an engineer, control and instrument engineer. So my background study is electronic industry, major in electronic industry. So I am 33 years old this year, and I'm already working with the EMBA Jana Manjung since 2018, for almost 5 years.
Okay, alright. Okay, thank you so much, Cik Daniel. And then last we have Cik Afif. Can you hear me, Cik Afif?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Can you on your camera and can you introduce yourself?
Wait, okay. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, Doctor, good evening. My name is Muhammad Afif bin Zakaria. Same with others, we are from TMB Jana Manjung. I've been working in TMB Jana Manjung for the past 11 years as an engineer in control and instrumentation department, maintenance department.
Okay. All right. So you have been, how long have you been working with Jana Manjung?
For me, 11 years.
11 years.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much to all of you, Cik Shawal, Faisal, Daniel, Cik Amir, Cik Saiful, and Cik Afif. Thank you so much. One thing we can summarize here is all of you are working with TNB and all of you are engineers lah. Okay. So that will be good actually. That will be good. Okay. However, in my class, you are no more an engineer. You have to see yourself as the, kita bagi post baru lah. You are now the transformation manager. Okay. Or innovation manager. Not to say, we cannot say that you are the IT manager. You are going to transform TNB or you're going to transform your organization into something more. So now you are no more an engineer. You are the head of department and you are going to come up with certain projects, certain plans, how to sustain your organization for the next 10 years, 5 years, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Okay. So that is your perspective. You have to see the subject from that perspective. Okay. You cannot see yourself as the process engineer or instrument engineer anymore. You are now working for this department. You have to think of for the future. What projects or what systems to bring into the company, what systems to buy, or what systems that you have in hand, or how to innovate whatever you have to make it better. Okay, so this is what you are going to do now. Okay, so some companies like, before we go into chapter 1, some companies like, for example, saya bagi satu contoh. Have you all heard about, you can off your cameras if you want to, no problem. Okay, have you all heard about Dr. Muhayya yang klinik mata tu, yang ustazah mata tu kan? I'm sure all of you have heard about her. Okay, she was previously working in apa namanya, Prince Court Medical Center. Pernah dengar Prince Court Medical Center? Okay, the private hospital owned by apa namanya, Petronas dululah. Okay, so when this was about 10 years ago. All right, so when she was working there, and then she left Prince Court to open up her own clinic. Okay, so when she left the company, Prince Court lost about $10 million ringgit per year. Okay, because she took customers away. So people would come to see her in Prince Court, and then they will pay, and they will get their eyes all checked up lah. But when she left, customers or patients won't come and see her anymore because she opened up a new clinic. So Petronas actually lost about 10 million ringgit per year of one doctor leaving. So this is a very big impact of the of Petronas lah in Prince Court. So they started a division called Transformation Unit. Okay? So Transformation Unit is something like what you are learning now, to come and see how can they generate back $10 million ringgit per year. Sebab dia orang dah kehilangan 10 million ringgit per year. Nah, macam mana nak tampung balik 10 million ini? Because all of you are engineers. I'm sure if I ask you any engineering questions or about any burner or anything about anything about process engineering, you all be able to answer. But now, how do you make whatever knowledge that you have profitable for the company? Let's say in 1 or 2 years' time, TNB says that, okay, we are not only going to focus on energy, we want to focus on something else. Okay, we want to focus on another industry which is also profitable, or we are now losing out. Okay, we are now losing out on this income. We want to innovate to a different area. For example, even now, Petronas used to be or is still one of the largest oil and gas companies in the world, but because of the latest electrical cars and all coming, they also have to move on from whatever they have been doing. They have to innovate to a new idea. So your division now in this class is to look into this matter. So you are now managers of the transformation unit or knowledge unit or any unit that you might call, and your job is to come up with plans for the company, okay, for the company, to make the company more profitable, because the company might lose out in the near future. So your job in this class is to work as the manager and to see how you can help the company earn more than what it is doing now. Okay, so that is the hat that you are supposed to wear in this class. Okay, so let's just go into chapter 1. We'll see the introduction of this whole course first. Okay, so strategic management of technological innovation. Okay, so we are looking at, because we want to change, we want to move from what we have in the organization, and we are using technology as one platform of how we can innovate so that our companies can do much better from what it was. Okay, it's basically saying that you are having technology. Okay, you are having technology, and you are using technology to generate more ideas, more benefits to your organization. So in the introduction section of this subject, actually, the overall course of this subject, GT780, is to look at how technology can help organizations innovate their product or innovate whatever they have. So we are going to look from two perspectives in this whole subject. We are going to look at products that can be made, that can be generated, or maybe we can look at processes that you have and use that process to innovate other ideas within the organization. Example is, let's say your company comes up with new products. Okay, let's say now TNB is coming up with, maybe you are going to do your own meter, electric meter, or maybe you have all your solar panels, but maybe now you want to do something different, a new product. So that is one area that we are looking into. However, we can also look at other areas. We can look at how you have done a few. I'm sure all of you have gone through several projects in your line of work. So we can use that project. How do you do the project? Sell the idea and make the idea applicable to other projects within your organization. For example, let's say you are in the production line in your organization. And for production line, we have several steps. 7 steps that that everyone has to go through. All right. So you can use this production line. However, maybe you want to improve the service of this production line. This is where you put in some technology ideas, some technology products. Okay. So the idea is, why do we learn this? Is because we want to use technological innovation to be competitive in the industry. Because if we are not competitive in the industry, then we might lose out. Example, in the oil and gas field, there are so many companies doing oil and gas. However, to be competitive in the industry, your industry must have something different, something more than the other industries. Okay. If we go down to another example, you have, let's say, if you pass through Seremban R&R, you will come to a place in one of the R&R, they have Burger King, they have McDonald's, and they have Burger Ramly restaurant side by side. Okay. Each time I pass there, I see each of these restaurants are full. Each of these restaurants has a competitive advantage because they can fight among each other. Customers will go here, customers will go here, customers will go there. There are customers who prefer McDonald's who go to McDonald's. There are customers who prefer to have Ramly Burger, they will go Ramly Burger. Customers who prefer to have grill burger, they will go to Burger King. So each of these restaurants has their competitive advantage. Ramly Burger, maybe they target lower income people. Okay, people who lower income people. McDonald's, they maybe target people who likes ice cream, apple pie, things like that. Burger King targets people who like grill burger. Okay, so they use this for their competitive advantage. Okay, and another competitive advantage by having restaurants side by side is spillover, because there will be a time when McDonald's and Burger King is full, but you are hungry, so you might tend to go to Ramly Burger. That is why sometimes when you see McDonald's in a certain area, there are also some hipster cafes that will try to be open close to McDonald's. If you ask them why, because they target the spillovers of McDonald's. Yes, people might come to McDonald's, but there also might be people who spill over from McDonald's. Along the way, as they are approaching McDonald's, they see something new, they will go to a new restaurant. Okay, so these are the things that you are looking into in your organization. How to make your organization more profitable so that you are at the competitive advantage. And why do you need to look at it? Because the advances of IT has enabled faster innovation. Okay, so IT is growing very, very fast. So if our organization is not up to this innovation, then we might lose out. Right? And we also have to look at how can this innovation that you employ and you deploy in your organization have an impact to the society. Okay, have the impact to the society. Right? So you need to look at this, because you can look at your company might do something good, something new, but it's also affecting the society. in terms of maybe there are pollution curve, maybe there are so many things as well. All right, so we are also going to look at the importance of the strategy. So this is the overall aspect. So we are looking at where to get the sources of innovation, types of pattern, standards, timing of entry. Timing is very important. Okay, timing is very, very important. For example, QR code. QR code's timing in Malaysia was just right during the pandemic. Then before that we had QR code, but it was not so popular as we came into the pandemic. So from then the spillover was most of us are now using e-wallet. So that is also the importance of timing. All right. So we are going to look at how to formulate some innovation strategies. All right. And our production team. So we obviously, when you want to have a good innovation, a technological innovation, we must have a good team. So this brings us to questions that you don't need to answer now, but we will answer this as we go along the chapters. Why is innovation so important? What are the advantages? And how can it fail? Okay, because some innovations might be good. Yes, some might be good, but some might fail. Okay, and some is so important. If it's not important, you just can't do it. And bear in mind, we are not only talking about innovations in terms of organization or companies. We can also talk about innovations in terms of the country as a whole. Okay, as a country in a whole. For example, now if you go to do Umrah, okay, it's so different because the Saudi government has changed so many things. Previously, when we go to Umrah, it's all very straightforward. Now the Saudi government has introduced so many new innovations. They have the e-cycle, they have the hop-on, hop-off bus. These are new things that is now happening in Makkah and Jeddah. Sorry, Makkah and Madinah. You have the high-speed train. One of the main reasons is because there was a study shown by one of the, I don't know, some magazine or the Saudi government can only sustain oil and gas for the next 30 to 40 years. After this, it's going to lose out. Because as for now, the main source of income in Saudi is the oil. But if they are going to lose out on the oil, so what is left? So now they are also promoting tourism. Okay? So tourism is another form of income for the country. So that is also another form of innovation. So how do they use technology for help for this sort of tourism? They employ QR code, they employ e-bicycle, they employ this so many things, okay, e-wallet, so many things. And I was just baru ni I found from my adik who was in Madinah. You tahu kan dalam Masjid Nabawi itu ada satu kawasan Raudah kan, Raudah yang kita boleh semayang semua. Okay. And then masa dia tengah semayang tu, Raudah tu dulu masa few years ago saya buat umrah, Raudah tu ialah dari Madinah Masjid Nabawi itu. Bila kita nak masuk, kita kena berasak lah. Queue and berasak macam-macam lah. Now ada app. There's an app for you to register yourself so that you can get a slot in Raudah. Okay, you pilih slot you pilih timing you be there, and then you scan QR code kat sana, you masuk. Alright, that's how you do it. And then people will be there for that certain period of time. Dah habis, mereka kena keluar lah. Okay, the app will ask you to come out. Okay, so bila keluar, because you go in about 3 o'clock in the morning ke 4 o'clock in the morning ke, most people will come out, and then dekat dataran Masjid Nabawi itu buat small picnic and makan-makan so on. So my brother, he saw this. He saw when he was Raudah, dia tengah semayang, dan tergelak, dia kata there was a delivery boy datang deliver makanan ke pintu Raudah. So guard tu marah dia, how can you deliver? Rupa-rupanya, dia kata no, the address shows Raudah dengan bahasa dia lah. Rupa-rupanya there was one person inside Raudah yang dah habis mayang, dia order makanan. So that easy for him, bila dia keluar Raudah je, dah ambil makanan, dia pergi luar, dia makan dia. So technology is now, what I'm trying to say is technology is now it's now so advanced, kita boleh order makanan delivered to us in Raudah. Masuk Raudah pun you kena ada QR code dah. That is today. I'm sure in the next future you tak payah QR code dah. You just use your eye scanner ke apa lah kan. So now that's why they say if you leave your house without your wallet, it's still okay. But if you leave your house without your handphone, it's going to be a problem at the moment lah. Okay, I'm sure in the future okay berubah, right? So that is new innovations, new technology which is available. So companies who are lacking in this will have a problem sooner or later. Even for, I'm sure most of you have experienced this. You nak pergi restoran makan, lepas tu you tak keluar duit, kan senang kalau ada your wallet kan. So now it's simple, you know, especially kalau siapa-siapa yang jogging pagi-pagi kan, lepas jogging nak makan nasi lemak atau canai, and then you have to bring your wallet, or maybe you letak wallet dalam kereta, tak selamat, and then why not you just free and easy je, okay? Bawa your phone, habis pergi makan, bayar pakai QR code, everything is there. So that's another form of technology innovation. Okay, let's go on to the first chapter for today. Right. So we are looking at sources of innovation. Looking at sources of where does innovation come from. Right. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand where does innovation come from. Because now you are the transformation manager, president, or head of the department. You need to propose something new, right? So you need to get all these new ideas out, right? You are no more the engineer. You need to get all these ideas out. Why? Because you want to request for, you want to present this idea to the management to say that if you were to follow this plan, product, this innovation, we can make more money. We can be better. We can be competitive as the other companies as well. What does competitive mean? Competitive means that we are at an equal opportunity with our opponent. Example, you have two restaurants side by side serving the same thing. However, restaurant A has a higher competitiveness because it offers e-wallet as restaurant B. But restaurant B does not have any e-wallet, cash transaction. Even if your lauk is sedap, but if it does not offer easy payment, then people will automatically go to the first restaurant, even if the restaurant is not nice, but people prefer to have that e-wallet services. Okay, so that is competitive advantage, right? So if you have a higher competitive advantage, so that makes you at a higher chance. Okay, competitive means you're the same. Competitive, I can compete with you. Two restaurants, same. Nasi ayam, competitive. But higher competitive means kedai nasi ayam A offers something different from kedai nasi ayam B. Okay, so that is what we need to be looking at. All right, so now let's go to the first idea, the rise of clean meat. This idea was to develop a synthetic beef meat as if the red meat that we eat. Okay, so these three people came up with ideas to fund efforts to create clean meat. What is clean meat? Clean meat is a type of meat, okay, but it's clean. It's not like beef or mutton or lamb, because beef, mutton, or lamb is meat, but it also have fat and other things. But clean meat has purely clean meat. Okay, so they wanted to do this. They wanted to synthesize something in the lab that was edible, so that people would enjoy the same taste, but in a cleaner format. Okay, in a cleaner format. So they started developing this. All right. So the question arises: what is the advantage? Obviously, the advantage would be you have clean meat. You have something which is clean. Okay, that means customers acquiring clean meat will be much more healthy. That will be the biggest advantage. But the challenges would be, what if it's not clean? Because now we are using synthetic. We are using products from the lab. It might have a long-term effect. For example, if we use stevia, for example, stevia, the sugar drops, right? It's, yes, some are natural stevias. Sure, it's okay. But some I heard is synthetic stevia. Yes, it's good to reduce your sugar intake, but we never know, because this is synthetic. It has been created by the lab. It might have a long-term effect on a human body, so we are unsure about that. So these are some of the challenges. So in order for companies to get sources of innovation, they have to look in a few aspects. So what is the story? How do you link the clean meat innovation with the innovation? Well, the clean meat project was just a new innovation project. However, that idea was not looked through to a certain angle, because they only wanted to look at one side. They only looked at one side, which is creating clean meat. Tetapi if they were to look beyond that, okay, because sometimes you have to look something for beyond that. In the long term, what would happen if you eat something synthetic? Ajinomoto, yes, it creates an instant sedapness to your food, innovation. But what is the long-term effect? Buat jatuh lah, this and that. But yes, some people say, you take in moderation. Correct. Yes, you take in moderation, but there is also a long-term effect. It can be long as 5 years, it can be long as 10 years. So in innovation, we have to look at the long-term effect as well. So as for the source of innovation, where does innovation come? Where do you get ideas to innovate? So there are 5 places that you normally look at, because each of these are linked together. You can get innovation from an individual, firms, university, private non-profits or NGOs, and government-funded research. Example, universities would do their research. So these are sources of innovation, which other companies can tap on. Some firms will also have some own innovation. Some individuals will also come up with their own ideas, or maybe government will come up with their ideas and provide some grants, and some NGOs as well. So all of these are places where you can get innovation ideas from. Okay, so when you're talking about innovation, there are several aspects that you need to further look into. Creativity, the ability to produce work that is useful and novel. Okay, because you are looking at how to source an innovation. Where does the innovation come? And the person creating the innovation should be creative. So we are looking at creativity. All right. So how creative is that organization? So in doing so, they can create innovation. Example, let's say, okay, suggestion box. Okay, so suggestion box is a creative way because you get customers to write their suggestion that period of time, and by in doing so, you are able to get customers' idea. Okay, doing so, you are able to get the customer's idea. Or you do specific, you attend specific programs. Okay, you get specific programs. Right? So this creativity will lead to innovation. So people who use TikTok are all creative people. And based on that, TikTok, okay, is now an innovation product itself. Right? Because when TikTok came out, it would never dreamt of becoming what it was. But because of people's creativity in using that particular technology, now TikTok is also one of the famous items, famous applications or famous programs that people use, and which has created a new job as well, content creator. Even in the last 5 years, we have never heard about this. Now you have content creators. Okay, content creators. Last 5 to 10 years, people promoting food or clothing are only famous people. But now you have famous content creator. They can help you promote your product as well. So being creative is also an important thing. You might have the technology with you, but you're not creative in applying it, using it. So in your position now, you are now the president, the manager of the transformation office. So you need to be creative because everyone can buy technology. Everyone can implement anything, but to become creative, now that's a different story. Yes, every shop, all of you can. If you put a restaurant, there's so many restaurants now, so many restaurants selling the same food. Everyone can cook, but why do people come to your restaurant? Because you are creative. You create the atmosphere in the restaurant. Okay, sometimes or most of the time these days, people don't go and eat. People go there because of the viral issue, creativity behind it. The lady is selling nasi lemak in Sarvejaya. People have to wait 8 hours. If you were to look in the conversation, her nasi lemak is just a nasi lemak. How much different can a nasi lemak be? Okay, nasi lemak yang saya beli kat belakang rumah saya sama dengan nasi lemak yang beli. Pedas tak pedas, sedap tak sedap. Sedap also is relative. Untuk saya sedap, untuk awak tak sedap. But why is hers different? What is so special about hers? That people are waiting in line for more than 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours because of mungkin creativity dia. There's something creative. Or maybe bukan nothing. It's not because of her creativity, nothing. Dia bungkus sama je. But maybe the person who took the video and it became viral of the way you took the video. Okay? There are also certain TikToks or that you see when they want to introduce a restaurant. They will show a video leading to the restaurant, the pathway. Contohnya dia nak pergi bercuti dekat hotel atau restoran ni makan. Okay, perjalanan dia it takes about 5 hours. Dia masuk lorong ni, keluar lorong ni. So people are excited to see this video. Okay, but the restaurant is only one part of it. We are not trying to promote the restaurant. Is indirectly. Kita nak makan nasi kandar ni, so you have to go to this jalan masuk keluar sampai. Alright, so that's a creative way. But food is just the food, but we are promoting a different thing as well. Right? So being creative is very important. Next, you put this creativity into action. So we call it theory in action. Right? Theory in action. So you have the ideas inside Google, whereby Google uses a range of formal and informal mechanisms to encourage its employees to innovate, including 20% time, recognition awards, founder awards, AdSense ideas. Okay, so Google, what they do is they aspire people to come out with their own ideas. They give them some time to think, all right, during their working hours, or maybe they provide them with some grant, okay, so they give preference, that's the word, to their employees to come up with a new innovation. Because sometimes, because you have been in that situation for a very long time, you have been an engineer for a very long time in that department, in that line of work. So you know what's the do's and don'ts. So sometimes you might cut short a process because you feel that the original process is long. But because you have been in this field for a very long time, so you feel that, boleh lah kalau kita buat macam ni, it's possible if I do it this way. It's not against the law, it fastens the process, and it makes things run better. Next, you translate this creativity into innovation. Okay, now you have creativity, you translate it into innovation. That's what TikTok is. That is what is happening to TikTok. They have it, they use the technology, you put creativity inside it, and it becomes an innovation. Okay, what kind of innovation? Yeah, young people promote barang-barang restaurant through TikTok. In last 5 years, if you want to promote your restaurant, you can use what? The radio, the TV, iklan, that's about it. But now you can promote your restaurant, your product through TikTok, through Instagram, through Facebook, and it's cheaper and it can happen instantaneously, and it can touch it can touch everyone. Because if you promote it to the TV, there's a certain time, only certain time. Let's say you promote an advertisement on the TV. Advertisement appears only at night at 9 o'clock. Some people might see the TV, some people might not see the TV, some people don't have TV and so on and so forth. But if you put it on social media or on the internet, anyone can see that advertisement at any period of time. Okay, if you want to watch it in the morning, can. If you want to watch it at night, can. So on. All right. So this is another example of a theory in action. He puts it in vision. This guy Dean Carmen, he developed a self-balancing two-wheel scooter. Okay. He reformulated the problem. Well, yes, that's another way of looking at things. He did not look at the problem, he came up with solutions, and he came up with this example as well, because he came up with the problem. Because the problem is sometimes doctors, they berdiri lama buat operation, so why not he come up with something yang you will feel comfortable while doing operations. Okay, so these are examples lah. Okay, these are examples yang people used it. And some also use research and development. Some organization, for them to come up with innovation, they use the research R&D team. They do basic research or applied research, okay, and then they develop them. So these are some examples. All right. So these are certain examples that we can do for transforming creativity. All right. Let's go to the last one today. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages? Okay. So you have, when you come up with creative idea or innovative idea, so you have to look obviously at the advantages. Advantages meaning how is it benefit, how can it benefit your organization? But we can also look at what would it cost, would it be expensive? Would your company suffer? Would employees suffer? Okay, so that is also part of it. What trait appear to make individuals more creative? Okay, so how do you make an individual in your organization be creative? Okay, and what are the same traits? Okay, So these are certain things that you need to understand. In chapter 2, how do you get the ideas out? Sometimes the ideas not only need to come from top, but it can come to the bottom. Example, Canon photostat machine. And Canon photostat machine was developing their photostat machine. They used to come across the same problem from most of the customers, paper stuck. But over time, they found out that certain regions or certain technicians were able to solve it. And when they met with these engineers or these technicians, they found out that the technician was using something new to solve the problem, something which was not written in the manual book. Okay, so they asked him, how do you know, how do you come up with the solution? Simple. This solution was created or was done based on his experience. Okay, his experience over time in repairing photostat machines. All right. So sometimes it's based on experience. So sources of innovation can come from anywhere. Okay, but mostly it can come from experience, because you have been experiencing the same thing in your organization over time, and you know this is better than the others. Okay, you know how to make things better, right? So I have been teaching for the last, let's say 10 years. Yes, I know how my students are, but I can say that for the last 10 years. But over the last 5 years, when PKP came up, I have to innovate my teaching. I cannot use the same method I used previously, because these days students are more experienced than their lecturers. So these days customers are more experienced than the shopkeepers, right? So it's not one-way street, it's two-way. So you have to know the best solution. You have to be more creative. You have to be more creative in using technology. Now technology is here to stay. It's not something which is something which is what you say good to have. It's a must. It's technology. It's not something we say nice to have. Yeah, it's not something nice to have. Yes, it's good to have. It's a must to have. Restaurant, e-wallet, credit card payment is now a must. People won't simply go to restaurants. Yes, there might be some people. However, people prefer to go to something else. All right. So now you are in an organization, in a department that needs to think about innovation, how you can make innovations happen in your organization, and from this, make it more profitable. Going back to the previous example of Petronas, when Dr. Mohaya left, she carried out with her 10 million ringgit per year. That's a lot of money. Now, Petronas has to come up with the idea how to get back this 10 million, because 10 million has gone up. Customers, patients are not coming to the hospital, are not paying $10 million, 10 million ringgit. Then you might ask me, 10 million, so they bought 10 million. You see, it's like this. It's an overall process. When you come to the hospital, you pay the consultation fee. Consultation fee katakanlah 100. Okay, 100. You buat operation. Okay, you buat operation. Cost operation itu you have to pay to the hospital, not to the doctor. The doctor only collects the consultation fees and maybe per hour operation fees. They are the lain fees only. The ubat-ubatan, the requirements in the operation belongs to the hospital. The aircons will belong to the hospital. So now, this is all generated into 10 million. So now Dr. Mohaya is not there. So patients who are coming are not going to be seen by her, are not being operated by her, are not even going to park the car there, because parking in the hospital is a source of profit to the hospital. Equals to 10 million. Now they have to think of how to generate 10 million. So they came up with new ideas lah. Okay. So these are new ideas that you need to generate. Even now, when you see you go into buildings and new buildings, Their open area itu, dulu most of the buildings, especially kalau big hotel, lobby dia besar, cantik je. But during PKP, they found out that bila customer tak ada, when there is no one coming to stay in the hotel, they need to off the aircon because mahal lah nak sejukkan lobby yang besar, but there's nobody there. Okay? And this space is a big space. Bayangkan you tak on aircon for a big space. It's going to be very expensive. It's going to be very hot. Okay? So they have to think of innovative ideas how to get, let's say, satu ruang kosong. Okay, satu ruang kosong. To sustain this ruang kosong, you need this much of energy, this much of lighting, this much of aircon. But now, and let's say to sustain this, you need about, let's say, per month, 1,000 ringgit. 1,000 ringgit ini is to sustain that place. Lampu, aircon to sustain that place. And you can get this by people coming in, hotels lah. But now you don't have these people. Macam mana you nak dapat 1,000 ringgit ni to sustain that place? How are you going to get this 1,000 ringgit? Okay, so how? Maybe ada orang buat push card. That means dia buat store kecil-kecil to get more money. Okay, there are so many ideas now lah. Okay. But this is what the hotels will be experiencing. That's why the big hotels suffered as compared to the small hotels. Small hotel because the lobby di kecil, setakat off lampu, off kipas, off lampu, kipas, off aircon, they're fine. But the big hotels, they suffered because their lobbies are big, they have lightings there, they have plants there, kena jaga semua ni yang besar ni. Bayangkan, the big area. Okay, big area, they suffered a lot. Okay. So the pandemic has taught us that how to be innovative, how to be creative. All right. So now in this subject, you are now knowledge transformation officer, manager, whatever you call it. You are going to think of projects or the ways you can get innovation in to make more money. So in the first chapter 1 and 2, we have talked about sources. How do you get this out? Right? How do you get innovation out? Because sometimes there are two possibilities. You might be in an organization for a very long time, but you're comfortable. So, aku buat je lah apa yang dia suruh buat A sampai Z. I know I can do it faster. Aku buat je lah. It takes me 10 hours lah, tak apa. I know dalam hati, I know it can be done within 5 hours. But it's okay, never mind. Right? So over time, like for example, passport. Few years ago, nak buat passport seminggu. Walaupun proses dia hanyalah 1 jam. Now, buat sistem, online system, which is, I heard banyak problem lah. Tapi dah innovate lah idea dia. Benda yang mengambil masa 7 days to 1 day to online. Siap passport tu. Okay, so these are new innovative. Okay, alright class. We have to stop today early. Alright, 3:45, 3:40. We will stop here and we will continue back tomorrow at 9:30. Yes, 9:30 bukan pukul 9. I will give you the link tomorrow dalam pukul 9 itu saya WhatsApp. So what we have to take away from today is hari ini mulai saat dan ketika ini you are no more the engineer. Okay, you are no more the engineer. Dalam kelas ini you are now the transformation manager. You are now thinking of ways to innovate your ideas, to innovate your organization, to bring in more money lah, right? Since both of you have background for engineering, so you have to think, how can I use my experience, not knowledge, experience to generate new knowledge? There are two different things. Okay, I know all of you, semua ni ada knowledge. Semua ni ada knowledge. Afif ada, Daniel ada, Syawal ada, semua ada knowledge. I know if I ask you about process engineering ke, you boleh jawab A to Z. I know lah, knowledge you besar. But I'm not looking for that. I'm looking at your experience. But you dah buat kerja tu lama. You dah pakai laptop tu lama dah. You know macam mana nak buat betul. You know shortcut dia. So that is what we are looking at. So based on that experience, we want to innovate that idea and to get more profit. All right. Thank you so much. Any questions so far today?
Doktor saja nak tanya soalan. Tadi
Yes,
yang
Syawal.
pasal
Okay.
tadi yang pasal clean meat tadi. Kan?
Can you repeat that?
Yang pasal clean meat tadi ada ke benda tu kat Malaysia? Sebab dia ada isu dengan halal semua kan, tak ada kan? Clean meat.
Oh, clean meat tadi. No, in Malaysia tak ada because
Oh.
kita masih terikat dengan budaya. So just imagine if clean meat tu dalam bentuk tempe, you nak makan. That idea never materialized pun. It was just an idea. Sebab you are having something synthetic kan, so it never materialized in this part of the world. Memang you can get all the halal lah, you boleh orang kata gelatin halal, boleh dapat semua kan. Tapi it never materialized. People in Asia ni masih suka makan daging daripada lembu, bukannya daging daripada lamb, you know. So when I did some reading on that clean meat idea tu never materialized here because people never lah.
Okay.
Saya pun tak sanggup makan orang kata daging daripada lab as compared to daging daripada daging kan. Alright.
Okay, saja
Okay,
saya
so
pertama kali jumpa term tu.
So your idea, your head today for this subject is to become a transformation officer, manager. Okay. So you're no more engineer, but you are using experience. Okay. Kelebihan experience you to come up with new things. Alright. So thank you so much. Please sign your attendance. Jangan lupa. And insyaAllah I will see you tomorrow 9:30. Nanti saya akan message dalam pukul 9 the link. Okay. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih doktor.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih doktor.
Okay, terima kasih. Selamat menjamu selera.
Baik.
Okay, bye geng.
Alright.